everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda, and today I am about to plant some plants that I purchased today. I'm going to show you some plants that I bought. This one is the first one that I purchased, and it is called a Majesty Palm. And I purchased this one from Lowe's, and it was on a clearance. And I am going to be potting it up. I'm going to put it in a larger pot. This is the pot that I'm going to be putting it in. And I also purchased some elephant ears. I am very fond of the elephant ear plants, but I do not have any elephant ears in my garden. So I purchased, this is one of the larger ones. It was like $7 and something. So these are very, I think expensive, but I have been wanting them, and I have passed by them, looked at them, and just decided not to get them. But I really do like elephant ears, so I am going to go ahead and plant this one. And I also purchased a package of elephant ears that had 3 in this package. And they are smaller. So I did feel like I was getting somewhat of a bargain with these 3. And they have already begun to get a sprout on them. And this is what is the eye. And this is what you plant at the top. This is at the top. And if you get one that is not clear what the eye is, you can plant them on their side. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pot those up also. And then I purchased some purple potatoes. I am not going to plant these right now. These will go into a container. But I just wanted to show you all and let you see. I knocked off one of the little sprouts. But they have got some eyes on them. So they are beginning to chit. When they get these little eyes on them, this is called chitting. And so they are forming their little chits. And so I am going to put these 4 in a 5-gallon bucket. And there are 4 in this bag. One of them is kind of small. So these are the plants that we will be planting up. These elephant ears, we're going to plant this large one, and then we're going to plant the Majesty Palm. So I'm going to plant this large elephant ear in this container. So I'm going to fill my container about halfway with some Miracle-Gro potting mix. And these will go outside in the spring, but for right now, I'm going to be keeping them inside until all danger of frost have passed. And elephant ears like to be in a moist area. They like sunlight. And if you have them inside, you can keep them in a south-facing window to make sure that they're getting enough sunlight. I'm going to put this underneath. I'm going to fill it about halfway full. And they are said to be very easy to grow. So if you like the look of elephant ears and do not have any in your garden, this is a good time to go ahead and get them started, because they are said to take a moment to get started though. So they take a moment to get woke up in the spring. So the best thing to do is to go ahead and get them started now. Okay, so you can see the amount of soil that I have in here. And this soil, I'm going to go ahead and moisten this soil because I am not going to water this elephant ear until it begins to sprout, till the plant begins to grow. So I'm going to go ahead, and this soil is kind of moist coming out of this bag. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover this bulb. And as I said, I will be keeping them in the house. I'm gonna go ahead and make my label. Okay, so I got my label made. And then I'm gonna go ahead and plant the next one, and I'm gonna plant these small ones, and I'm gonna put them into these containers. Now, I know you all have heard me talk about plants that are toxic and how you need to become aware of those toxic plants. Well, this is one of those toxic plants. And so you want to make sure that you are aware that it is toxic. So if you have your children who are around these, small children who are around these plants. So I don't want to have to always say, and make a big deal about it, but I just want you to be aware. So if I do plant a plant in my garden, I will make you aware that that plant is toxic. Okay, so I'm just gonna nestle it down in there like that with the eye sticking up at the top. And then I'm going to cover it. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with me telling you all that a plant is toxic, because there are so many plants that I tell you that are edible. So I want to make sure that I tell you ones that, to make sure, no, this one is not edible. And the more I do research on these plants, I'm learning more about different plants that are toxic. Because honestly, I did not know that the leaves now, we could eat the sweet potato leaves, but the leaves of the regular, Irish potatoes, they are toxic. Tomato leaves, which I've never eaten a tomato leaf, those called daily nightshades as far as the leaves are concerned. So you do not want to eat those tomato leaves or those potato leaves. Okay, so we're going to mark these elephant ears. I got one more. I need to pot up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this right behind me. I just want to have something that I can sit this on so that I will not spill my soil everywhere. But as soon as I said so I wouldn't spill my soil everywhere, I just spilled about a teaspoon full of soil on the table. Okay, so now I'm going to just press this down slightly and add the last of my bulb on top and cover it with soil. And y'all just don't know how happy I am to have these elephant ears planted. Because seriously, y'all, I have been wanting to get some elephant ears. And the truth of the matter is, the reason why I did not get them was because that $7 is just looking like a lot to me for just a simple bulb like that. It's just for one. So now that I have gotten them home, and I'm so happy to have them, kind of wish I had got one more. I'll probably get one. But I'm going to tell you also, when I did decide to get one, after I had, looked at the price and said, oh, no, I'm not going to get it. That's too much. Then I changed my mind and went back to get them, and they were all gone. So this may be what happens this time. Because like I said, I would like to have another one. But I don't know if they're going to be all gone. Because I'm telling you, you all should be happy. The ones that I've been seeing on YouTube that have a Lowe's store that is well stocked with plants, you should be very happy. Because that is not the case in this area. And I guess it could be because of the weather difference. Maybe it's too early for them to be out in our area. It's the danger of another frost. But some of these areas that I'm seeing them in, I know that you all have another expected frost date also. And so I don't understand why you all have them all out in your area and we do not have them all over the place in our area. It seems like they're really scared. They act like we're in the north or something, the way that they are so afraid to put out the plants down here. But I'm not going to talk about it too bad. I'm just going to let it go. But it's very disappointing. But y'all, I got happy because I went to Lowe's and I just wanted to, I told you I already got some onions. I planted some more onion seed and I ordered some onions. But I want more onions. I wanted some onions that I could put my hands on and that I could go and plant in my garden. Because I told you all I have a spot that I still do not have any onions in that 12-foot bed. So I wanted some onions today. So I ran all over Lowe's, no onions. I went to one of my other stores that I get abundant seeds at, and they didn't have any onions because they have two stores. And so they told me that their other store did have the onions. So I was very happy to go to the other store, although it was like a couple miles away. Yeah, I was at that point ready to come home. It was raining and it was cold today. But when I got to the other store, although they did not have some of the other things that I wanted, they had onions. So I got some onions. But y'all look at these onions. They look, the onions look awesome. I got these at Shell Ross in my area. And they look awesome. They look amazing. I am so excited about these onions. Only one problem, y'all. I don't know what kind of onions these are. The only ones I can recognize are these red ones. I know that these are red candy onions. I didn't even know there was a red candy, but I got some red candy onions. I have some yellow candy onions. I don't know which one it is. This is a white, so it was called, I forget what it's called, but I got some white onions, and there are a bunch of them. Y'all, these were like $3.99 for all of these onions. I don't know how many onions are in there, but I am so happy that they had the onions out, and they had so many. And so I got 5 bunches of onions, and I'm fixing to be so excited. I'm fixing to stick them in, because I like to plant in 5-gallon buckets, so I will be planting some onions in 5-gallon buckets. Stay tuned for that. So we got 5 bunches of onions that we're going to plant. I'm going to finish filling up the 12-foot raised bed, and I will be poking them in other areas in the garden so that I can have them around my vegetables to keep the little insects and little pests from coming around my food. So I am so excited about this. But I also picked up one, can you believe this? This was at Lowe's. I picked up 1 pack of seeds. And this is for some golden honey watermelon. This is all I picked. This is the only seed, because I have a lot of seeds and I got some more seeds coming. So y'all stay tuned for that. I am excited about planting. Y'all, I was running around. I had an appointment. That's why I was out of town to get a chance to go to all these places, because I did not just leave home today in this cold and rain to go looking for onion plants. But I had an appointment. So when I'm out on an appointment, I usually make time to stop at these stores that I like to pick up seeds and other gardening supplies. But it was so cold to me, and I had to get out and pump some gas. It just seemed like it was so cold, and it was raining. But when I got back home and I was getting the stuff out of the car and I went out to the garden for a minute, it was still cold and raining. But after I got in the garden, I was like, it's not so bad. I really wanted to go out into the garden and just work. I just wanted to go out there and just plant something. But I said, no, girl, go in the house, because it's still cold and it's still raining. So I did. I just came in the house. I didn't do anything out there in the garden. But I am going to go ahead and I'm going to plant this Majesty palm. So I am going to use the pot that I showed you all. And y'all have been using these pots. Y'all remember when I showed y'all this big batch of pots that I got. I probably had like 6 of these, and I think there were probably about 4 of these. And these are my last 2 of these. But I still have my whiskey barrel ones. I think I have 2 whiskey barrel ones still left. I got one in here, and then I got one outside that's catching rainwater. So it became a rainwater barrel. But I am going to have to go get some more pots, because y'all, we got a lot of more things that we want to plant, because yeah, there are so many different plants. I know you can't have every plant, but there are a lot of plants that I plan to have this season that I have not had in the last few seasons. Because y'all, I love peonies. I love peonies. I used to have peonies planted around in my landscape, but throughout the years, I think the armor dealers were the ones who dug up my bulbs, because I even had the cannas that, that's not one of my favorite plants. And I think the reason why the cannas are not my favorite, not one of my favorite, I kind of got tired of them because they were so prolific and they were invasive. They started just taking over the yard. They would get big bunches, they would just bunch up everywhere. You had to go in and dig them out, and I was digging them out and giving them away. But and those were the red ones. I just was not as fond of those red ones. But I got a hold of a tangerine cup, more a peachy color one, and it was so beautiful. And I think I may have had it for a year or 2 seasons, but I think it was the armadillos who dug them up, because they, at one point, that was their job. It was like they were working for money. They was out there just rooting up everything, just all the bulbs. They was just digging them up. And so all of my bulbs disappeared. And I had a lot of the clematis or clematis. I like to call them clematis. I think that is the proper name, clematis. I had those, and they were so beautiful. I even dug up one that I found that was growing out where it used to be my rose garden, and that's where the chicken coop is now. I dug up one and I put it out into the garden, and I had it in a little pot, and it grew most of the summer, but well, part of the summer, most of the spring and part of the summer. But I think it's just, I don't know what happened, but I am going to put clematis back into my garden. So there are a lot of plants that I do love and I do want to have in my garden, and I just have not put them in there, but they will be added. And a lot of those, you know, I always be getting the food part, but some of these perennial flowers and shrubs that I love so much, I will be putting them back into the landscape. So let's go ahead and plant up this Majesty palm and get it into its home, because it says that it loves bright light. It's probably gonna have one of these lights on it, one of these grow lights on it. I'm probably gonna put it underneath the grow light, because I've gotten all these plants, and you know, I'm telling you all, I'm trying not to get so many plants, but I still have plants that I have. I'm trying, these seedlings, they're inside the house. I'm trying to grow these seedlings inside the house, so it's taking up some of the spaces that I usually have my house plants in. So I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna plant this one up. It was on sale, and I think it's very beautiful. It's half price for whatever reason, but it is a beautiful plant. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pot it up, and I probably should have got one more than one of those also, but not maybe this same variety, but they had other plants, but I just grabbed this one because it was so perfect and beautiful. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put this out the way, and then we're gonna go ahead and pot up this Majesty palm. Okay, so I already got some holes, some drainage holes in the bottom. Just got 2 in the bottom. I didn't add any extras because, as I told you all, these are the ones that they have where you just poke them out with the screwdriver. And I've been kind of leaving just those now, because usually when I try to take the drill and drill some more holes, I end up breaking my pot. So I'm gonna try to just let those 2 be enough. So hopefully we won't have any drainage problems with just those 2. So I am going to get a saucer. These saucers I purchased from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to fill my container with some soil. Not fill, but I'm going to put enough in there to get my plant planted. And you all, I'm going to show you all, it looks like this plant show you all how deep. So I'm not going to have to put very much soil into this pot, because this pot is not too much bigger than this pot that this plant is in, as far as the diameter, and not too much more than the height. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to put it in here. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep it in here, but as I said, this is the only large pot that I have left. So we're gonna go ahead and use what we have for now. And that just gives me the excuse to be ready to purchase some more pots very soon. Not that I really need an excuse, but I will take my time and be looking for a good deal on some pots. And as I told you all, I'm trying to get more and more pots that last longer and that are more sturdy. And I did the ones that I just potted those bulbs in, those orange ones that looks like terracotta. They came from the Dollar Tree, but I think that there are some pretty sturdy pots. So, you know, you can't always just judge the pot by the price. Okay, so got some soil down in here. I'm gonna press it down in here. I may have put a little too much, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna sit this. Okay, I think that once I take this out, I'm gonna move a little bit of the soil around to the side. So this sit a little bit lower in here. Okay, now this pot, I mean this plant is huge. It is reaching to the ceiling. All right, let me let y'all see what these roots are looking like. This is probably why they got rid of it, because of these roots. Look how root bound this plant is. And I'm sure that that's not why they got rid of it, but y'all don't think. It is root bound. It is probably not going to last in this pot long. I'm probably finna have to go buy a pot. Okay, one thing you want to do, you want to examine, make sure you don't have any bugs or anything crawling around it. I need to I'm just going to y'all, these roots are like, this is more like a tree. I guess it is a palm. It's more like a palm tree. I really need a big pot. I probably need to put this in this whiskey barrel. All right, y'all, we're just going to we're going to work with this for right now. We're going to put it in this one. And hope for the best. Get this pot somewhere where it won't. Okay, so I think that it is sitting at a perfect height. And we're just going to fill it in. I did not put any type of fertilizer in there because, as I told you all, I am using my Miracle Grow potting mix. But that is one thing that I did, well, I didn't forget. I could not believe that Lowe's did not have the Expomo indoor plant fertilizer. That is what I wanted. I wanted the indoor plant fertilizer so that I could put it in there because it does not have such a strong smell. It works the same way. It's a water soluble, works the same way that the fish emulsion does, but it just, for some reason, does not have that very strong, pungent smell. So I knew where I could get some, and I meant to stop when I made it back into town, but as I said, I was just ready to get home. You all know I told you I don't eat out. I was hungry. I did have a banana and some water I took on the road with me. I ate the banana on the way home. It didn't do nothing. So when I got home, I was famished. Okay, so I'm just gonna push this around the sides, get it filled all the way in. Make sure that there are no air pockets. Then I'm gonna water it in. And I will be on the lookout for some plant food because my plants, all of my indoor plants need some food. My seedlings need to be fed. Because y'all, I am not about to put that fish emoji in this house. I know this plant is going to be so happy. I do have another tray that I can put this on because this tray is making all these noises like it's suffering underneath this heavy container. Do not want it to crack or anything like that and have water all over the floor. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get another one of my saucers and put underneath this plant. First I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna water this plant in. Make sure I got all my seeds and everything out of the way so that I won't wet my, oh, there my watermelon seeds are behind me. Okay, so I can go ahead now and I can water this plant in. And I think that this plant is going to be very happy right here. I'm going to move this for the second time. And hopefully I don't spill everything everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to move this plant over here so that you all can get a better look at it. I think this plant is very lovely. I think it's perfectly shaped. I don't know why I was on clearance. I guess so I can get it. So I'm very happy about it. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed the video and that you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed. And go ahead and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.